you know, from the start, there was nobody to say, you should do this, go for it. My dad, I remember him walking me up to Texas Tech, standing in front of the registration building. And he goes, now Mary Jane, he says, what do you want to be? What do you want to major in? And I went, art, Dad. I said, I want to be an artist. And he goes, now Mary Jane, that's not a craft. He says, that's a hobby. He says, you can't make a living at that. It's my centermost core now to prove him wrong. So when my youngest son started getting up and on his own, there I was, fresh off Sesame Street and dying to speak to adults. So I joined a local Star Trek club, actually, anything to get out of the house. And they turned out to be a writing group as well. And through them, I found out about science fiction conventions. Actually, the very first one I went to was in Amarillo. The day before, someone told me, Robert Asprin is going to be there, and he will critique the first 20 pages of a work in progress. So I went, oh, I was working on one, which now is the first book of the Fireborn Chronicles. It was a lot different back then, and I knew nothing. And I typed out my first 20 pages. There was no formatting. It was absolutely horrifying in retrospect, because I really knew nothing. I went to this convention, and Robert Asprin was supposed to be there, and I went, I got my 20 pages. And they went, oh no, that had to be turned in 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, you know. And so I was setting up my dealer's table, looking really, really unhappy. And they hadn't started yet, and the guy came in, and he asked how I was doing, and I said, I'm not having a good day. And I told him all my sad, sad woes. And so I said, yeah, nobody told me, I didn't know, and I stayed up all night for this thing. God, it must have been horrifying, the way it must have looked. And he says, well, I'm Robert Asprin, he says, and I'll read it for you, he says. And he did, and I was like, so that was my first experience with a writer anyway. And I got to say, a lot of my education in writing has come straight from the pros, you know, at this convention, and they were so wonderful. You go to a science fiction convention, you walk in, and these are the guys that make the books that you hear about and read and grow up with. And they would have panels, and a lot of the people were going to these things, you know, and they're like, oh, silly little questions, right? Man, I went in there just dying with real questions, and they saw that. And without exception, I mean, they all just, anything I wanted to know, they told me. And I mean, I took it all to heart. Since all of my training has literally come through other people's knowledge, it's an absolute necessity to pass it right on back. I feel absolutely obligated to it. Had anybody looked at me and said, oh, go take a class or buy a book, I had no money, or anything like that, it couldn't have happened. So I feel obligated to pass it on. The group that we have now, it's now called Write Critique Group. This group's been in existence for at least 25 years. The way it's run is everybody comes on Tuesday, you can turn in up to 10 pages of a written word or nothing. You don't have to critique, you don't have to do anything in it. You don't have to submit. And it goes around and everybody that's read it the week before critiques it. The person who's being critiqued is not supposed to speak during it. That's the hardest part. And after you go all the way through, we let the person that's being critiqued give responses. You're not supposed to defend. You can only respond, which is a little tricky, or ask questions like, what did you mean it sucks? We're not allowed to say it sucks, okay? You're supposed to be kind about it, and you should give one compliment with every critique. But the idea, the whole concept behind it, is you wouldn't let your best friend come out of the bathroom with a skirt hiked up or toilet paper on their shoes, right? You'd tell them. And after you get out of the group, though they're gentle as they can be, you understand that you're not going to please everybody. And so as a result, you have a better product and an understanding that, you know, this guy, I mean, if you want to look at the people who are well known, J.K. Rowling, Myers with the Twilight series, you can look at their stuff and there have been some brutal commentaries on it. They walk it to the bank, and hopefully we will too.